And that should do it. Everything seems to be working fine once again. Another Viking. And yes, today we will be boating as usual. This time around with the American Coast lineup, I still got some boats to unlock. And I will be playing mainly USS Cyclone. Because it is a rather interesting boat, but not the easiest. Mayhaps. And we'll have PT-810 as a backup and Hawkroom just in case we need it. And I need to fight Phoenix. .33 is a pretty good battle rating. Because there's just a lot of stuff at 3.3, both for coastal, aircraft, and the reserve blue waters, obviously. So that is a pretty fun battle rating. I will, yeah, he's still adjusting his lineup, there we go. I've got plenty of boosters to run through as well from the recent SL crates, so we'll have plenty of stuff to do. Yep, those look like good lineups. Also, I love this camo on USS Cyclone. It is just a normal unlockable camo. Just really neat compared to the other options. Both of them are ready, so let's just get into it. That was a quick queue for a 3-man squad. And of course we'd got a map that's not quite optimal for these ships. But we'll make it work.
All hands man battle stations. Set condition 1. Lock down all.
I'm not sure what battle rating best position is, but I'm not thinking it's a low one. 333. We've got a shard on the enemy team, that's lovely.
Close in, make condition 1.
That's gonna make my life a bit more difficult, but well, K2 is a 4.0, I believe. So that confirms my suspicion of an up tier. Which makes that all the more sad. Yeah, me not having the time to do them. I know. I was planning to do them genuinely, but I just couldn't get to it. March has been a lot busier than I originally anticipated. So what they would have been, since April is over now, what my original plan was to make a review of the K2, one of them being in Dutch, since the K2 is a Dutch ship. But so that's why it would have been 2 videos, one of which in Dutch, on April Fool's itself, then the second one being in English as usual the day after. That was the plan anyways, but then work got a lot busier than I anticipated originally. And then making 2 reviews that would have to be identical but in 2 different languages was a bigger task than I anticipated. And honestly, I should have anticipated that being a big task, but well. God, me already? What am I being shot by? The destroyer? And it's a shut-up. Okay. Okay. I should have gone hard right there to get behind the rock. I really should have. I still can. Believe. getting cover. There we go.
Left standard rudder. Engine, all back.
Where is this current target? Is it over there? So there he is. Couldn't see the markers through the rock.
Right standard rudder. Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
We have most of the zones.
Contact bearing. 260. 1,000 meters.
We can more rapid T-34 turrets on that thing. To my knowledge. If I can actually hit it is the other question.
Damage control. Prepare parties to kill and pump out water.
It seems I don't quite have the penetration required either.
Contact bearing. 360. 1,000 meters.
Luckily he didn't know to shoot from my
Prepare parties to
Morak.
station.
So he went for my engines.
Steady as she goes.
Not many coastal targets for me to shoot over here, sadly. So let's just move up.
020. 2,000 meters.
And I just had to say something, didn't I? That is luckily an AI, but it is an AFD3, it is quite scary. And also an AI, but a lot quicker to kill. So I'm going for it first.
Right standard rudder. Engine all stop.
The good thing about these being APDS shells is that you do travel the distance quite quickly. Though it seems they lose a lot of damage potential at this range. I'm not sure about now, but it usually is the case that more people play arcade than realistic. I need to let these barrels cool off. It's shooting me. No, it is not. Okay.
Turn to emergency repair. Enemy hit. Enemy hit.
Come on, just a bit more. There we go. An assist, but we'll take this.
2,000 meters. All hands, we have been critically damaged. Collision alert. Engine, all stop.
That is indeed a good question. Like,
Contact bearing.
every now and then I'll jump into a custom battle just, you know, to pass the time, if I don't particularly feel like grinding something. And there's not that many naval custom battles rolling around, but the few that there are sometimes are in arcade as well, and it's just unbearable to play it. The camera shake alone makes me not be able to play arcade. Yeah, luckily, I know. Oh, luckily, I don't really play arcade to begin with, so I'm not that affected by it. But I've seen it. I've seen the bugs. I've seen what happened to it. It is indeed a big yikes. I did just jump in front of my teammate there to take the kill, and I'm sorry for that. But I will say, like, I think statistically speaking, more players, or more people will play arcade. It doesn't mean that realistic battles have, you know, eon-long queues. Or dead matches. Like, this one is half full, which is a bit meh. For a BR as populated as 3.3, I guess. Oh well. Ever since they gave bots the same rewards, well, sinking a bot the same reward as sinking a player, it really doesn't matter to me anymore. Whether or not it's a half-full match, an empty match, full match. I'm just not panning at angle. He, I think, is going to go broadside, maybe, a little bit. And he'll just shoot my ammo, which is also an option. Since the ammunition on Cyclone is really poorly placed. There's a Geniere up, which I don't really want to contest, so we're in a 4-3 match, so Hoquium will be useless. Let's maybe try a torpedo run at B. That is a Shara, which is dangerous. Let's just stay out of the way from that. Just keep going. A few pot shots from range as I'm getting into cover. That's sort of flat. Okay, that is closer than I anticipated. Let's see if I can close this gap, but the shark probably has a shot on us. So let's try and close the distance for an arty strike. There, however, will he still be reversing? Yes, he is. However, he's... Oh! Oh, hello. Get away, get away, get away, get away! Okay, we're fine. Fine-ish. Buoyancy is critical and I didn't notice it. Darn it. Okay, 5%. We can deal with 5%. We can't deal with that though. Try and launch some torpedoes. The other 3 are knocked out. The bridge is knocked out. So roll. Okay. Bombing it is then. Yeah, this map is not very friendly towards coasts to begin with in and up there. So this result was to be expected. Also, of course, it's Ashara and their squad mate. And they're racking up the kills. And for those that are probably not as familiar, Ashara is a tournament player for Naval. And a pretty darn good one at that. So if they're squatting up with somebody, I'm expecting somebody of a similar caliber, which, well, it's a Geniere and a full down there, so it's not saying much. But still. Now I'm gonna try and use some cloud cover, which I of course just lose as it becomes critical. That's all VT, that's all VT. I'm trying to I hope to just strike one of them. Bombs are still single drop. Oh boy. That's a Clemson class. Oh, and of course the bomb detonates by an AIPMO. Of course. And that's gonna be game over, isn't it? We're not gonna get close to the Geniere, they're holding on B. The only real option is Hoquium. Not gonna get anywhere with a coastal vessel.
Destroyer! Ahead! 2,000 meters!
Ocean, make condition 1.
So this barge will be my only really fighting chance against a tournament player in a 4-point-something destroyer. I do not like my odds.
Hold left over.
Left hard rudder! Eye on! Go! 8,000 meters! Direct hit!
Somebody attack him!
Left standard rudder.
And there goes a fire and both front guns. And I'm already sinking. Great.
Abandoned ship.
Very great. And that's me out. That's a full up there on a map that doesn't favor coastals. Who would have guessed? Let's see if you can spectate some squad mates. There's one. But Chikugu against a strike will probably not be too good either. My other one's out as well, basically. It's never much of a good sign when the squad of 3-3 players in the full up tier are top of the team, though. Oh well. Can't win them all. We should have ducked into cover as well with the Hoquium. But they're just not gonna win against the Shara. Not if somebody whose gun is facing the entirely wrong way. And there we go. I believe that's all of us out. Phoenix might have a... No, the squad is actually now in a coastal vessel. Also not one that carries any explosive ordnance, so... good luck. I'm gonna try and sneak onto the B point, but don't think his odds are too good. And there goes the engineered SVT, but he's still on target. No, not quite. And there goes my squad mate as well, and now we are practically all out. So back to hangar it is. And a bit of a disappointing start to this evening. But oh well. As I said, you can't win them all. And that is the risk when playing 3.3 coastal or higher BR coastal in general. That you'll run into full up tier against destroyers you just cannot outcompete. I don't know if I talked about this last week as well, but I think I have. The fire changes have been quite interesting. I think, were they introduced on April Fools? Might have been. But I've played some more battleships. Ooh. Okay, get an upgrade anyways. I've played some more battleships in the past few days. And it is quite something, trying to play a battleship that'll just detonate after 3 seconds of being set on fire. But yeah. Has made my battleship running a bit slower though. It's also really weird seeing... Yeah. But the thing is, right? And I think I've said it before, but do you think missile ships will be 9.0? Because I see a major problem with missile ships at 9.0, and that being that battleships will just dunk on them. I have seen some data mines about the seed event, people have been posting it. I think it could be interesting. I also saw something about smoke rockets, which... cool. But I don't think it really has any naval implications just yet. Also, on the topic of exploding Scharnhorst, I did actually have, or I think at least that's what I saw. A few days ago I saw a Scharnhorst blow up within 3 seconds of one of the secondary turrets being set on fire. And I'm not entirely sure because this update also had some bugs of where the fire actually is in the X-ray view. Like, I've seen fires like up here, I've seen fires there whilst the main turret was actually on fire. Also, we got a full up there again, didn't we? Yep. That's an arty strike. Or I need to burn out of it. There we go. What wasn't the bug? The position of fires. I didn't notice it before, but this update I've noticed it a lot. Because it seems like compartments in general are a lot more prone to catching on fire. Like when you hit a cruiser in a battleship salvo, like a full battleship AP salvo, practically every single module you hit will get set on fire. Although it could be wrong. I haven't played cruiser and battleship yards enough to really notice. It's just lots of weird and wacky changes that they don't really fully explain. So it's always a pain to try and get the details out of it. Seems I should have gone to the A point. Behind me, really? Okay. Okay. Gotta love that. Gotta love them just going all the way around to get behind me and having absolutely no teams to help me out. Gotta love it. Although he must be having the time of his life, having that actually work for once. Maybe try and do this. same stuff, but I think they have a tighter grip on the A point, which will make it a bit harder to push out in there. Let's try it as well. Or he'll just stay right there. And I'll get shots from... No, he's right there. Somehow I survived it. I am mightily confused as he's moving around that quickly, but okay. That boat must just be faster than I remember it being. Apparently, just push up again. And there, of course, is now a Japanese frigate, but it will just blast me apart with one sword hit. So I can't really stay here. I should have built behind that island, but I can't now. And there's my rack with my fancy camo. I can actually arty that guy, I believe. I can. There we go. He's going in steeper than that, so the arty's going to miss. Well, just please don't detonate. My frontal magazine is really vulnerable right now. Or just knock out my crew on my bridge. Also possible. The thing is, it's an up there, so I really don't want to get into a Hawkwium right now. So let's just do a backup Cyclone down south, away from the destroyers. Okay.
Engine, flank speed. Full left over.
Yeah, exactly.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
Take him down.
Let's just block this guy before it becomes a problem. And there we go. Not sure what made him angry, but no well. And of course, somehow broke my minimap to being the air minimap for some reason. Okay. Hold on.
Ocean, make condition 1.
Nope, no clue why I did that.
Right, standard rudder.
As I was going to say, of course I get down south and all the action is over.
Destroy the target.
It's beautiful on 9. Yeah. You know, Cyclone is an actual really fun ship if you manage to get it to work properly and have decent matchmaking. The major issue though is that magazine and superstructure. If it didn't have that one weakness, this would be a lot more fun of a boat. So what happened to the Japanese frigate that was over in this direction?
Somebody attack him.
Engine, all stop.
Allied forces have captured the zone.
On target.
Attack the enemy.
These things do you really need to counter Bravi? Because the only well, okay, its missiles can actually be kind of harmful against destroyers and even lighter cruisers. Okay. But the Bravi really isn't that much of a threat at 6.3. Okay. At least I don't consider it enough of one to be. It would be nice if the other factories got counterparts to the Bravi. Just for, you know, for it being interesting. But I don't really see the need to counter Bravi. Of course, one of the only parts of my ship that has been hit is my ammo rack.
Left standard rudder.
Because the fun part about the Cyclone is that it actually has the blue water damage model. It just sadly doesn't really matter much with the ammo storage in the superstructure. Yeah, I'm also not that familiar with missiles, but I believe we already have the RIM 24. Isn't that the same missile that Douglas has? I need to look at what missile the Douglas actually has again. Could have been the MIM, I'm not sure. Or is it the... no. Yeah, I have no clue what missile the Douglas gets.
Destroy the target.
Engines, all back. Target identified. Control central.
Yeah, well, the action seems to have already passed me.
Standard rudder.
Enemy has a Karl Marx, which is a bit dangerous. Torpedo tubes carry crew, so that's where you can often shoot them. If you're in a coastal vessel, it's never a bad idea to shoot the torpedo tubes of a Clemson. There's the Marks. There's a hostile Frunze.
Take him down.
He doesn't like changing speeds.
Heading is slow.
I should have seen him coming, seeing that my squad mate just got killed by him. It's stationary though. But it doesn't have a... It has a pretty good anti-air suite though. So should I go torpedo or should I go bomb? Let's go bomb, I'm a little bit more reliable with it. If only a little. Yeah, but I just don't really see much point in... I think missile ships for War Thunder is a bit difficult, because I don't see a way to make them... like... I don't see what BR they would get. In a way to make them fun to both fight and play them. Is it high? Isn't it oh, that's what you mean, yeah. Is it just sink? Or is he just burning? I didn't pay attention to what actually happened. He did sink him, okay. Let's sink the guy over here. That's... looks like an Ayanami to me. Japanese destroyer. It's definitely a Japanese destroyer, alright. And of course it immediately sets me on fire. I wish I had a kind of look on my Japanese, and I missed. Okay. So the camo for Cyclone I have is not the biathlon camo, because one Cyclone didn't exist with the biathlon happening. It is just a normal unlockable camo that I tweaked a little bit. I do have the biathlon camo for some other boats. I think the Chicago and the Fairmile. 691 I think it is. One of the Fairmiles, 697 maybe. 40mm grenade launchers would not be good. It's just a grenade launcher is not a useful weapon in naval. It's just way too short-ranged. Also way too low velocity, I think, for it to be really useful compared to what the 25 Bushmasters can do. The 25mm Bushmasters. Bit of a shame I ran out of spawn points. Also, is that a botter I see? Oh my god, it is! They're a rare sight. So if you see a random assortment of letters and you go look at their service record and it is just a premium boat. Also this one, don't know why these are in this stat card because he hasn't played them. But yet this, highly suspicious. Oh well. Again, I don't see how much use a 37mm pack gun would be. Like, the American one, obviously, not the German one. I don't know what kind of mount it would be, but if it isn't a fully rotatable mount, so it only fire rearwards, there's not much point in having it. Also, it depends on when they installed that gun, I guess, but I'm not too well versed in the history of PT-109. But yeah, anyway, Cyclone's camo. This is just a unlockable camo that I tweaked like this. So scale 55, because I think by default it looks like this, which is still pretty decent, but a bit boring in my opinion. So we go down to 55 and we go by 90 and you get a much snazzier camo. Yeah, I don't think it would be too useful having that pack gun on the 109. You don't often just show your rear towards the enemy in a PT boat. Also, I need to activate another booster, because I do want to make the spading of this thing as quick as possible. I believe it is. I believe PT-109 is indeed that boat. Ireland Bay is a decent sign, because you usually don't see these at higher BRs. So let's just start with Cyclone again.
All hands man battle stations. Set condition 1.
Barker's flying.
All watertight compartments. Engines flank speed.
Leopard is 3.7. That's a slight up there, but it's still fine. Although I'm a little bit concerned about the AI spawning 3.3s. And the Nashville just leaving. I'm curious what the last spawn would be. Christian de Grosse is not great. Doesn't tell us much about the BR, although Christian de Grosse is a 2.7. So this might be a 3.7-2.7 match. Read.
Ocean, make condition 1. Target identified.
I wouldn't do for buffers on this boat. I jammed one of the guns. I'm going to jam the other one fairly soon as well.
Target identified.
jam the other one. Your assist is more than fine, and this 3 is not a threat. You are, but you're in the air, so that's fine. So, the main reason I use the APDS, right, is one, it'll go into the internals. You can ammo rack boats with it. That's actually the thing I usually do, if I have the time to do it. I just ammo rack boats with it. Especially when the enemy allows me to, like that. That is not something you can do with the HE, to my knowledge. The APDS also just has much higher velocity, so much flatter arcs. Gets to the target a lot quicker. That's the reason why I use the APDS. Probably isn't optimal, really, but it's what I use, and I'm gonna keep using it. If my guns want to cooperate. There we go. That's the front gun there. This is not great in this situation. We need to put that fire out. And of course, there's a Valkyrie behind me. There's the wrong button. Okay, got the kill. I'm almost sunk, but that is fine. We've done a decent amount in this spawn of Cyclone. So I'm more than satisfied with... Well, I'm fine with being sunk right now. Let's see if we can do something about this OS3. We need to be careful with the flank. Accuracy on this gun is not great. Definitely still prefer the Bofors over this. If you're just going to show me their side like that, I'll take it. Hello there, Douglas. Tasty magazine you have. We do have that boat with the Sheridan turret, but yeah, it can't fire AT gems, sadly. A little bit miffed about this boat having the not enough crew mechanic, but okay. You know what, let's actually take a screenshot of that. Ammo load exploded. That is to be expected. So it was over there. So let's take PTA 10.
Ocean, make condition 1. Full left over.
I'm actually somewhat curious about why the Flagstaff can't launch the missiles from it. Should look into it. Yeah. AI gunners are well, AI boats are still cracked at anti-air gunnery. Hit something on the B point. Okay, so there's still somebody on there, but that's to be expected. They're still capping it. That's slightly dangerous. He seems preoccupied with somebody else. My squad mate, that is. That's what he was preoccupied with. I'm hearing a Vulcan, so that is a PGO2 over there. Among other things, that is a player. 76 like that, that's fine. I need to be more decisive in what I'm doing. Okay, knocked out a 20, knocked out a 20, fine. We've got time now, we don't have much time, but we have time. Fine. We're fine. Definitely I'm not panicking. 40 if I can. Yeah. We're fine. Don't look at screw percentage. Don't look at the hull integrity. We're fine. More Vulcan. More scary. We're really vulnerable from passing as well. That is within artillery range. Let's just try and use that first. Hello, the PG-2. And yeah, couldn't get his gun.
All hands, abandon ship.
This might be a decent one to take the hockey map, but let's try and soften them up with aircraft first. A fun, interesting fact about this map, mainly because I know it because I'm a tournament player, the C point is actually closer to this side's destroyer spawn than that side, and the A point is actually closer to that side destroyer spawn than this side. So if you're ever on this map, in a tournament, and you want to get to the capture point quickly, if you're on the south side, you go to C, if you're on the north side, you go to A. You will always get there before the enemy does. That is, of course, if you're just racing in a straight line towards the A point and not just shooting each other. Also, what are you? Because you seem like a royal plane in my team's side, with a really nice little bombing target. We have a destroyer in the coastal spawn. Interesting. Let's start diving. On what seems to be a leopard. One bomb will do it. It is the AI. Okay, it's the botter, that's why. So, let's see if he's actually a botter and just leaves after one death. Or just perpetually stays in the respawn screen. Where is he? There he is. Lots of AA fire coming from over there, and I think that's because of the closer. Got a destroyer over there in between B and C. That seems like a good target. Well, yeah, they usually are quite stupid. Ooh, he's in a smoke screen, but will that save him? Will it save him? It might actually. Nope, nope. I see some flashes. Yeah, he's right there. Let's drop a bomb. And get out. Missed. We do have a third one though. If the AI doesn't get us. That fire is really useful. Let's get real close and personal. Still a miss, but some more damage. I can try and strafe him to death. I don't think that's necessary for a friendly destroyer just shooting him. Gonna do it anyways though. For the loss of my aircraft, but it's fine. That leopard is now sinking. Or he should be. And let's spawn a Hawkrim as well. Yeah, they really don't. Oh, he actually left us for one death doing absolutely nothing with a random name. Let's look at his player profile. And his service record? Yep, just looks. That is Naya. That's a botter. So we complain. We say, there we go. Suspicious in-game behavior. Yep. I'll do it after the battle, I guess. But that was a better match. Had a good map for it, where he didn't get interfered with enemy destroyers. By enemy destroyers. Okay, now let's go back to here and finish that complaint. And what is it called again? God, what is it called again to look at the... Oh, how to say this? 6, there we go. And that's all you have to do. Of course, do it when it's an actual botter, but I'm fairly certain it's a botter. You always see them in reserve premiums for whatever reason. Yeah, slowly but surely working our way towards a dealie. Do I actually have the other camo yet for the... Don't really like that kind of camo. And off we go again, unless somebody's not ready yet. I thought he was ready. Guess not. There we go. We are getting decently quick queues. Ooh, Volcanic Island. That is a rough one for coastals. Small match. Have seen that name before. So he was in a equal PR coastal, I think. I sense an up to as well, so I'm going to take PTA 10 just to be a bit more mobile. And there it is. Aeronamis 4.0.
Captain has the com.
Fun times ahead. Throw some more down there just for some fun. Gabbiano is kind of scary, but my arties might be able to catch him. Just likes to have run himself aground. To slow down though. Got some arty hits, by the looks of it. There's some splashes. Yep, I did get some decent hits against the Gabbiano. Problem is, of course, that the decent is not going to be enough to deal with the Gabbiano. Let's get out of here.
Hold left over. Right, hard, rudder. Turn to emergency repair. That's standard rudder.
Oh, yeah. Took out the Gabbiano and now just something with rockets. I get the feeling that PJ2 got himself stuck. It doesn't seem like it. If we were actually stuck, I'd be able to just tow him out, but... Yeah, there he goes. the angle for my 4-piece. There's a lot of stuff running around right now. Lots of scary stuff. Let's go there. More coastals than I imagined, really, but that's fine with me. More stuff to kill. Absolutely can't see a thing. I'll just keep shooting it.
Somebody attack him!
I need to start thinking about torpedoes. So we'll launch one if the ice is going to keep going straight. I'll launch one a bit short in case he turns in. Let's try and disable some of the main guns before he gets them on target. Very heavy emphasis on try. Torpedoes still seem to be decent. And now we just wait. And let's actually try a torpedo run for the fun of it. And there goes a torpedo hit. That's a lot of ships coming down that channel, jeez.
Attention to the map. Allied forces have captured.
Destroys and captured A, very nice. I'm not going to go anywhere near that cluster. Although I'm incredibly tempted to just drop a long-range torpedo on them. Hello there, Doctor. And I'm going to try it. What is my torpedo range again? 3.66, perfect. That is more than enough range for some long-range stuff. Just don't want to get blapped by the AA. But just launch them there and get the hell out of dodge. Just get out. If it hits something, we'll be happy. If it doesn't hit anything, I'm not surprised.
Victory is near.
It might hit that MZ1 if he keeps on trajectory. If it doesn't detonate on that rack that's in the middle of the B point. Just gonna follow this torpedo in. And of course the MZ1 died, but it would have hit, maybe. I still have an odd chance to hit that destroyer behind him if he keeps going forward, but it doesn't look like it. So now I need to go back to the airfield instead of following the torpedo. Yeah, if that guy would have kept going forward, I might have hit him. You don't have to escort me in, or just go bomb something, for the love of God.
Enemy forces have captured a zone. We've captured most of the strategic zones.
I don't like seeing shells whiz past me. Not at my own airfield. I think I see the culprit. Yeah, found the culprit, alright. Now I should be able to fix this. It's an AI that did it as well. Okay. Well, if I get domed by an AI destroyer several kilometers away. Seems about right, doesn't it? really have much firepower in the destroyer department, do we? For what is arguably a 3-7 match. Let's get airborne ASAP. It was indeed that Frunze that almost just domed me out of the sky. Well, domed me on the land, rather. That is the taxiway, but I appreciate the effort. Let's gain some speed first. M82 got torpedoed by a V990, that's always good to see. There's a Litchfield near the A point. It is a bit goofy. Technically speaking, this isn't supposed to be the torpedo bomber. It's supposed to be a dive bomber. It just so happens to be able to carry a torpedo. There's a coastal pass over there, we want to avoid those. That's a biplane, that's not much of a threat. That is something bigger. No enemy destroyers? Okay. I could have sworn there was a Litchfield over here. Well, let's just keep looking. That's Clemson. It seems like it might be my only target. Second Clemson. Now you can drop this torpedo from a stupidly high altitude, which I really want to try and practice, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that right now. I didn't see anything today, but that might change, of course, by the time I'm back. Let's aim for you, because you're coming to a halt. I missed a stationary target. Good stuff. A clear issue of skill on my part, but oh well. Let's... Ooh, there's something in our coastal area which might be funny. Yeah, it's not the aimbot AI that got me, it's more that I just, you know, low and slow. Oh, hello. Great, you just sitting there. Although my guns cannot hit anything, because the sea state is anything other than a flood column. Okay. Okay, there's a Clemson. The player one I was actually looking for originally. I really had to hold down from just pressing down the trigger there. Really had to hold back. But oh well. We now go torpedo a Clemson, I guess. You launch one, just in case he stays on target, and I die before I can drop the others. And we'll just close the distance. And knock at the front gun. We try and knock at the bridge. Next is the wing gun, which is a lot smaller of a target to hit. Front gun's already back up, that's concerning. He's slowing down because he knows I'm a torpedo boat. behind now. Don't really care if I get that gun back or not. I just want to get the torpedo off. We are also going to RT behind him, just in case.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
I really wish I had depth charges right around now, but I don't, and this torpedoes will kill him. The artillery actually got him before my torpedoes did. And the Gabiano got me, apparently. Oh well, worth it. I can't really fight the Gabiano with his Cyclone, so we'll take Hawkwim and try and go down towards the B point.
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder! Aye, aye! Oh, ahead! 6,000 meters!
Ocean, make condition 1.
Didn't really expect that Clemson to just reverse in a straight line when under torpedo threat.
Heading to the airfield.
But oh well. Let's see if we can do anything from this range. Before the AI somehow just decaps the C point, or the A point rather.
Keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Enemy hit! Enemy hit!
Luckily AI ships will just move through a cap rather than actually sit still and cap it.
We're controlling
But still, could have done without that.
Right standard rudder.
There'll be another flank, and that AI is now behind the mountain.
Fire! 4,000 meters!
Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder! Aye, aye!
Gunners on all targets, just in case some PT boat sneaks up on me somehow.
Oh! Ahead! 3,000 meters! Low AA!
That's the VT.
Ready as you go.
Holding course! Aye, aye!
Again, all stop. Left, hard, rudder.
Left harbor! Aye, aye!
There we go. No, you're not gonna get anywhere close to us with that big bomb under you.
Torpedo!
Target identified. Destroyer.
And there we go.
Engagement over.
Fair chunk of RP towards the depth charges on the PTA-10. I'm not quite sure what I want to get next, if I want to get the new pumps or just all the other stuff I don't really need. Also, a smoke screen might come in handy. Cyclone's gonna be so expensive to still spade as well. 23,000 to pop for these. As I'll probably just go artillery support. Probably a rangefinder next and dry docking an engine. But oh well, that's probably not going to be for tonight. I'm not the greatest fan of Golden Bay, but it could be worse. It's a pretty decent coastal map.
Free and clear to navigate. Right.
Okay.
standard rudder.
I know that name. I don't know if you're a good player or not, but I know that name. It's usually not a good sign. For me at least.
Ocean, make condition 1. Target
That's really where I want to be on this map. I usually want to go around the other side of the sea. But the game spawned me this face, or this way, so I'm gonna play it this way. Have the guns, want to cooperate at least. And this is one of the main reasons why I want to get some engine upgrades on this boat, because it does not want to change speed at all. Yeah, this thing has APDS. The only other ship I know has APDS is the PGO-2. Could be wrong, but I think it's only the PGO-2 and this. That's because they're not really naval guns, more just, you know, anti-air guns or guns from tanks put on a boat. Okay, that's a player in SF-40. I don't really want to. Do want to try those odds? Not really, but choice. It is a Bushmaster 25. That's exactly what this thing is armed with. 2 of them. And he wants very free ammunition, as everybody does. I really want to like Cyclone because it is a pretty fun boat, but man, that ammo is just not great. In the slightest.
Left standard rudder. Ocean, make condition 1. Right standard rudder.
We're ahead of the enemy.
The another part is that those 25mm Bushmasters are really good at ammo-racking boats, except for the SF-40s, which are otherwise really easy to ammo rack, but not with those APDS shells. Because the SF-40s have a lot of ammo racks, but they're kind of difficult to hit. They're not tall, and those 25s are not all that accurate. So something with an HE shell actually does a lot more damage to the SF-40s than an AP shell will. So for example, 40mm Bofors, which carries a mix of AP and HE no matter the belt, will do a lot better to an SF-40 than the 25mm will. It would also help if the seas weren't this darn rough. See if my little theory is true, or I'm probably gonna just crew kill him before anything else.
Most of the strategic zones are captured.
Left, hard, rudder. Heading in slow.
We are now going to try and hold this point because there is a frigate heading down this way. that guy. Still a ways out there, but he is heading this way. Wait. This boat really does not like standing still for any kind of accuracy. The thing you'll see of quite a few coastal boats in semi-rough seas is that if you want them to be stable, they need to be on the move. And preferably as fast as possible.
Hold left over. Engines behind speed.
I think it could be quite some fun with trying to get boats in a tank match. The problem is, rivers tend to be lower than the surrounding ground. You're not going to do much in a boat unless there's a tank that just happens to be stupid enough to be at the riverbank. And even then it's going to be a fair fight between the tank and the boat.
Turn to emergency repair.
Nuts.
That's standard rudder.
Running is over there. Though I might show that I'll actually drop artillery on them if my RT allows for it. You're scary. And I'm just in a bad spot at the moment. A second I look away, there's something here now. Which undoubtedly still has spawn protection. Yep. Nope, just wore off. Great timing. And there we go.
Repair parties in station.
I think I need to see about some of these crew levels as well on these boats because they just do not like changing speed. PTA-10 is practically mobility spaded already for me. It's still a bit sluggish on the engines. Ready to torpedo tube for this SF-40 around the corner. Two of them even. You are on. And I'll launch it there. Also launch it there. I'll get a little bit closer because that one's gonna miss. Yep. So we'll launch another. Hopefully get at least one of them before the match ends. Just got to ask the match ended. But there we go, depth charges on PTA 10 will most certainly come in handy in some situations. And let's get smokescreen next. Still a ways to get the RT support. But we have boosters to use. Okay, there goes one of my squad mates, but that's fine. And off we continue. Also not a great map for boats. It's a great map for frigates, but not one for PT boats. Very small match. For now. Let's use Cyclone, I'll go north of A. Just to stay as far away as possible from long range shooting.
All hands man battle stations. Set condition 1. Lock down all watertight compartments.
186 is 37, I believe. Well, Douglas has 4.0.
Collision alert.
Using a missile already?
Target being tracked.
Why? You only get 4 missiles. You shot at a 3. No, I'm gonna go north. I'm not gonna risk it all. This thing is way too volatile to just risk it.
Destroy the target. Taken down. Attention to the map.
Oh, there goes one missile kill.
Right, stand at front.
You know, this thing apparently could also get a guy with just a Stinger launcher up here. So I've heard that these boxes are actually for Stingers. Not that they'd be the most useful anti-air weapon on the boat, but it could be cool. But yeah, I believe this boat has a, you know, these boxes are for Stingers. Could be wrong though, I don't think I am. There used to be a beach submarine here.
That's standard
And we're further around the corner. That's just rocks. But yeah.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Of course, by the time we go to A, there will be no fight left there. And yeah, I do quite like this camo for this boat. It looks very nice in this modern boat. We have an S-38, should be fairly easy kill. It's a Russian river barge, it is an AISIS, not that big of a threat. BOD over there. Lead. Want to keep my speed up if I want the guns to cooperate as well.
Damage control. Repair parties secure and pump out water. Right standard rudder. Target identified.
There we go. What we wanted.
Enemy vessel suck.
Hold right over.
Our rudder. Aye, aye. We are hit. Full vessel.
I'm a bit curious as to where that S-38 could possibly be.
Ready as you go.
Okay. There we go.
Zones are taken by the enemy.
Over there. Oh, let's just shoot at this AI then. Wouldn't do for a calm sea state map at this point. And there's GOT again. The guns are again not cooperating. Got some use out of it, but not much. 3 kills, but only 2,800 damage. It's barely one and a third kill, barely. I don't think it's even 1 1/4, but it will. No, it is. Yeah, it's a little bit more than 1 1/3 kill damage done. So not particularly great. There we go, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah, this thing does not have the greatest angled pen against those Russian river barges. Not great at all. Of course. One of the most damaged segments is my ammo. And the engines.
Damage control. Repair parties secure and pump out water. Left standard rudder.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye. On target.
Repair parties to station. Engines all stop. Target identified. Both.
1,000 meters.
Engines
I don't find the AFD1 that troubling armor-wise. Its compartments have higher hit points compared to the most normal coastals. But the armor is not that difficult to deal with. These boats are kind of annoying, but we have to shoot the bridge in order to actually sink them. There we go. Barely pan from the compartment, but yeah. Just barely. It's to get a bit closer for me to deal maximum damage. Also, that is an actual player. I do need to be careful of that. And it seems my squad mate has just torn him apart. Well, I'm not complaining.
Hard. Rudder. Left hard rudder. Aye,
Okay, he didn't find my rack too easily.
Stop. Target identified. Close.
Oh, okay, he's actually out of that spawn protection already. I'll try and ammo rack him. It doesn't going to be that easy. The ammo rack is fairly deep. And I might as well just go crew clip if I can, but nope, the guns jam.
Destroy the target.
Still did a decent amount of damage.
Attention to the
Already
designated
looking
grid
much
zone.
better. Ah! Our new problem has arrived. They're going to overheat the guns. I will need them. Luckily, whatever it is repairing his engines. So we just keep shooting those. Till he dies. Luckily it wasn't AI.
Guide on me.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
And the game's going to be over soon.
Left standard rudder. Left standard rudder. Aye,
Not particularly bad.
aye.
Damage output is a little bit low compared to the amount of kills I've gotten. But that's fine. Definitely got a decent chunk of RP towards artillery strike, which will be very useful in Cyclone. So, the riverboats for Russia is probably the easiest example. This, like all of these, the armored gunboats, all of them are riverboats. They are not meant to be out in the ocean. Heck, even lakes are probably not going to be good for them. It's just... It's kind of difficult to describe because you just can't tell that they're riverboats. I think technically speaking, actually, these are not riverboats. They're supposed to just be anti-air barges. But we bunch them in with the riverboats because they're all similar. Have big guns, armor, long narrow hulls. Let me actually see what the BMO is classed as. Technically that is indeed a... Actually, now that I look at it, what did it say? BMOP... Oh, it's a 194, not 191. Okay. Though I'm not too familiar with what Russia would consider, like, coastal vessels. Like, this is a sub-chaser. This is torpedo boat. You can kind of tell what is supposed to be out in open water and what isn't just by the way their hull looks. Like, this is just a tiny boat. It's just long, rectangular. I don't know. It's hard to describe. It just... I don't know. I know it. I know that those are riverboats. It's also just something we start to call those boats. We know that these were used for rivers. They're not the standard coastal vessel. So everything that looks like it and behaves like it, we just call a riverboat. So for the Germans, that would be the AFDs. Technically, you could classify the SF-40s as riverboats in terms of how they play and how they act. But they just are so they have such a distinct appearance, everybody calls them barges. Although at the same time, I actually sometimes call the Russian riverboats Russian barges as well. It's just, yeah, they have a very different way they sail, the kind of armament they have, the kind of armor they have towards other normal coastal vessels. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Technically, the Sokotes, the army boats, are all river boats as well. So the Hago, the Sokotes, the Type 5, I think as well, although it gets depth charges, which confuse me as well. And actually, that's a subchaser. And Type 5 would... then that's a Navy boat, sorry. But there was something else as well, wasn't there? I'm sure I'm looking over one of them. But I will. But yeah, that's also a thing for Army and Navy boats for Japan. Anything with the type designation, so Type D14, Type 5 and so on for the World War II stuff, that is a Navy boat. Anything with an actual name like Sogote and the Hago, those are boats from the Japanese Army. And those are river boats, because the Japanese Army is not going to be using coastal vessels, is it? Although, who knows. Anyways, back to Cyclone, and some more matches. Yeah, I think probably one of the... not the best ways, but a way to describe what a riverboat is a boat that is not designed to go after other naval targets. And they're either designed for land-based targets in rivers, or air-based targets as anti-air barges. I don't think an amphibious tank technically classifies as a riverboat. But you could, arguably. Yeah, the Kachi. I sadly didn't actually get that tank. I really wanted to, but oh well. They also do have another amphibious tank in their tech tree, the Kami, which also has pontoons historically, but it doesn't have it in game, which is so sad. I would love for it to get its pontoons. But look, the same map on the other side. The problem is, if I were to go around the north, it's going to take me much longer than it would from the other spawn. And I do have this little island cover. So let's be a little bit more aggressive with Cyclone on this map.
All hands man battle stations. Set conditions.
You know, I'm not actually too sure on what kind of landing craft support there would be on D-Day, but there are several types of vessels which are named landing craft support. You have the kind of famous one for America that's like a big landing craft with just tons and tons of rockets. You have one with a 5-inch gun in the rear. I think it might actually be the same vessel. The LCS in-game is a landing craft support large. I believe that's what the LCS-L means. But I'm not actually so sure how they were used. I'm also not sure if they were used in D-Day or in the Pacific. I am sadly not that well versed in the history part of Naval.
Closing, make condition 1.
Matchmaking seems pretty okay. Leopard is 3.7 though, so that's a slight up there. Speaking of LCSL, the enemy has one.
Engines all back. Target identified. Mode.
There it is.
Target identified. Engine all stop. Target identified.
Oh, you're sniping from over the ridge, are you? And I can't actually hit him because my gun arc is too flat. But somebody needs to do something about him.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Repair parties stationed.
There goes the LCS. Okay.
Enemy forces have
Yeah,
captured
there's
a
the guy
zone.
that's sniping over the ridge.
Hold left over.
Didn't know he was over there.
Turn to emergency repair. Steady as you go.
And see if somebody does something about it before I have to.
Target identified. Mode.
And of course my front gun reloads exactly at the wrong moment.
Right over.
I should have kept a close eye on my ammo. Come on, reload. Nice bow-ins, couldn't do anything to him.
Engine
There's a Japanese boat on the run.
target identified. Mode.
The enemy has most of the strategic zones.
Yeah, and the pontoons. The pontoons in the Kachi are very funny. That's why I kind of really wish they added it to the Kami as well. A little burn now, that's a rare sight. It's a somewhat dangerous side to me at the moment, since I'm all alone and...
All
torpedo?
hands, abandon
Huh.
ship.
Okay. I was about to go try and bomb the burr now, which would be funny. Probably would actually be possible. But I'd rather not try out this trellis, thank you. Yep, there goes one against my teammate. And he got swatted out of the sky because he tried to mess around with his trellis. That already forgot what a burnout was. That burner has to be very happy now, finally actually being able to shoot down a plane with his missiles. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and strike that guy if he doesn't get torpedoed, which seems to be very possible. And then roll onto that guy and go... Didn't want to interfere with that kind of torpedoing. There we go. Okay, who do I go for instead? That guy does seem dangerous. That's a lot of AA as well, so let's not. Instead, let's go for... Okay, it's a Leopard, only has 220s. Shit, possible for me to just duke the A. Duke it. We are dive bombing, so we want to come in from the front. Perhaps that's a bigger chance of hitting him. Please don't get pilot sniped. Please don't get pilot sniped. Or get my wing shot off. That's also a thing. I'm starting to think I need to replace it F6F for something a bit quicker, like the Corsair. Now I'm going to go around with PTA-10. Because challenging a burnout in an open gunfight can be a bit dangerous. He's very low health, but still. Here's getting the squad note. Sunk, I think. Yes, a guy still sniping on the spawn though. I'm not gonna find out, so I'm just gonna take a safe route. That is not a sight you should be seeing in a 3-7 match, really. Reserve boat, reserve PT boat, thinking of the reserve PT boat at 3-7. You have an Aras on the field, okay. Interesting. Fairly certain that what's on the B point is not the... What do we have a PT6 out as well, really? Eesh. And I'm fairly certain the burnout is not what's on B. Might be that reserve Japanese coastal. And I forgot to equip my depth charges on the PTA-10.
The enemy controls most of the strategic zones.
I sworn I heard my crew call out boat or left 1000 meters just then, but... Okay. Let's just see if we can capture the A point before doing anything else. There's some kind of coastal over near their northern spawn, by the looks of it.
The enemy is winning. We must counterattack.
Left standard rudder. Left standard rudder. Aye, aye. Engine, all back.
Somebody attack
There's
him.
another burnout, okay.
Engine, all stop.
Destroyer! Left! 9,000 meters!
No, where are you? Get out of here. I'm not gonna get bombed by an F6F carrying my exact same loadout. Not like that. For the one time you actually hear an aircraft coming before they're right on top of you. There's the burnout. Let's preempt the LTM.
Right standard rudder.
I want to watch a torpedo attack so badly. Just because I'm not sure I'll actually win the gunfight.
Heading in go.
Seems my artillery is softening up pretty well. Yeah, my artillery softened them pretty well.
Repair parties stationed.
7,000 meters! All hands! We have been critically damaged!
Ready troops. Left standard rudder.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Several enemy aircraft up. Mommy now, however, is the scariest thing at the moment. I kinda want to reload my torpedoes. Not quite sure what our Ras is doing, but he's doing something.
All hands! We have been critically damaged! Collision alert! Attacker! 9,000 meters!
Engine. All stop.
Destroy the target!
Direct hit!
I'm still reloading my torpedoes. And we'll be on the move again. The Hunter hauls a Japanese destroyer.
Destroyer! Ahead! 2,000 meters!
Thanks.
All hands! We have been critically damaged!
Target
Let's see.
identified. Destroyer.
We lost the lock apparently.
160! 2,000 meters!
Oh, that's not great. Oh, that's a Schütze. Yeah, that's definitely not great. That is an L-70 Bofors at 3-3. It's kind of scary. For a second I thought it actually was the French boat with the missiles looking at the whole ship. But it isn't. I'll take an assist. The Hunter sells a destroyer. He's turning his guns towards me, and enemy will immediately knocks out my front 40 and sets me on fire.
5-0. Tight. 1,500 meters.
Turn to emergency.
And of course it's an AI.
All hands. Abandon ship.
Don't have any spawn points to work with. Although I could spawn back a PT-10. Okay, will be too slow to do anything really, so we'll try and go to the B point like that.
Left standard rudder.
Careful more, because I am dropping RT in the path of the Mommy. Just continue to shoot at it. My strike is actually pretty good, but I think it's a bit too short. It was. You can shoot boats through your own ships. So, yeah.
Ocean, make condition 1.
Destroy the target.
Now, we are somehow winning this match. So that's great.
Right, standard rudder.
Nice, securing B point. So yeah, we should be good. At least for the result of this match.
Left standard rudder.
Attack the enemy.
SPD way out there. I keep 10.
Ahead! 7,000 meters!
Engine, fall back.
I think that's about it for this match. Probably trying to hunt some destroyers, but I'll just risk me losing my last boat. But I can't even spawn any next aircraft yet. So you do have to be careful. Apparently the Z-15 is still out there. I retract my statement. He got bombed by Key 43. And there goes Yakazuchi melting aircraft with its VT.
Right, standard rudder.
And of course, the enemy is now in the A point. And we're gonna just go move on to the C point. Try and spot what's in A, but not quite.
The victory is near.
Air! Somebody attack him!
And of course, it's the reserve Japanese coastal.
Enemy forces have captured that zone.
Defend the viewpoint!
Let's hope we can make it to the C point without being shot by enemy destroyers. It seems the coast is mostly clear.
Engines, all back.
So that is an HMS Vega moving on to the A point, a player controlled one. If he's going to get torpedoed by the reserve coastal vessel, I'm going to be, well, impressed is one word, I guess. And now I just skedaddle,
Heady is slow.
whilst throwing artillery on his money.
Hold right over.
I've got Nikazuchi coming in to deal with that as well.
Left standard rudder.
So I probably could turn around and just try and torpedo him. Artillery strike seems decent. There we go. A little bit too far ahead. But it was fairly decent since I started the flooding. There we go, game over.
Enemy retreating. Report CNC. Complete.
Been getting a lot of maps I don't usually get with coastals like this. Okay, fat chunk of RP towards smokescreen, and inching closer to artillery support for Cyclone. And we keep going. Getting some decent research done for the Dealey as well. Seeing as I started with like 3000 RP into it. Will still take a little while though. Also, I never looked at what the missile was on Douglas, did I? Yeah, it is the RIM 24A. Okay, Arabian Sea is not a bad map. Did we get a mythical down tier, however? Sea state seems fairly calm, which is a good sign. Although I'm not entirely sure it is actually calm. Well, one way to find out.
Being clear to navigate.
It is.
Flight speed.
Tucumcari PT59 is 3.0. A12 is 3.3, Tucumcari is 3.0. That one is way lower, so that doesn't really count. But that flat seas might mean down to no destroyers. Not seeing anything at least at the moment. There was definitely an early arty strike on the B point.
Attack the enemy.
Contact bearer. 320. 2,000 meters.
Target identified.
Contact bearer. 320. 2,000 meters.
Attack the G-point.
Direct hit.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit more like it for this vessel. Having that flat seas will help a lot. Couldn't sneak onto the B point sadly, but yeah, it's fine. We'll make up for it.
Ocean, make condition 1.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
And what was that immediately after? Grey Goose. Probably got it from one of the SL crates. Okay, I think I did just hear my crew call out for a destroyer, so I need to be careful. There is indeed a destroyer, 3-7. Since it's a German destroyer. That flat comes the opportunity to just snipe ammo racks.
We're ahead of the enemy.
Hostile burn now. Spawn protection, of course.
Direct hit. Enemy ship on fire. Enemy hit.
All stop.
There we go. This is looking more like it.
1,000 meters. Enemy hit.
If it had that, but that's not how Strela's work, so yeah.
Target identified.
There. 240. 2,000 meters.
The enemy is starting to spawn some dangerous destroyers.
020. 5,000 meters. Direct hit.
Left standard rudder.
And that's going to be a player, isn't it? Right behind me. Okay, that is a Flower class corvette. And that's my ammo rack. Let's try and deal with that flower class before it gets too deep behind our lines. Destroyer is going to be an issue because one of them is a T-22 and it has some formidable anti-aircraft fire. So the amount of AI boats near that flower class is going to be difficult as well. I do have a torpedo boat getting close, so I might not have to go for it. So let's instead climb and observe.
Captured, we have the advantage. Enemy forces have captured the zone.
See if the torpedo boat can do its job. It did not. I don't see any torpedo trails in the water. So we're going to climb into the cloud layer. Or just about. Or wherever this cloud will actually stretch. Because for some reason, ducking into cloud cover makes you invisible to AI gunners. So you can get right on top of people. And don't fly that close again, Lord, when I'm looking behind me. And we can just start diving down. Those 20 miles are dangerous, those 20 miles are very dangerous. All the way. We turn out, and we sink ourselves a flower. A French flower, but still a flower nonetheless. Okay. And we just go away. I want to try and go for the T-22, but it's such a dangerous target to die for. I really do want to try it. Let's try and use some cloud cover again. Problem is he's just in an area where there's no clouds right above him. And those are the 37s already opening up on me. There goes the 20s. We're gonna go in a cloud. And his guns fall silent.
Captured most of the strategic zone.
We'll climb a little bit more. Maybe the PBM-1 will draw some of his AA fire. And I can go in for a dive. There we go. The guns are still silent. There they go, opening up. Gonna try a high altitude drop of one of them. Ah, it was next to him. Didn't do enough. Do we have a friendly in a PT boat that might just torpedo him? Seems like he didn't get the job done. I can't argue if a PT were to be found him. So we'll just have to wait for him to come into our crosshairs. 3 shells land, it seems like the Leopard is trying to support them from a distance.
Ready to
And it's torpedo away. You might not even realize I'm right here, but that torpedo seems true and that will kill him. But the match is over before I can do it. Darn. Still an alright match. Got robbed of most of the action that I could have gotten in the Cyclone. And a rather poor amount of RP earned in it as well. But we continue on. We should have arty strike in the next match. It will help a lot. And will get me closer to almost being halfway to spading the Cyclone. Okay, Golden Bay again. Let's see if we can actually do a bit of a wide flank on the sea point with Cyclone. The seas look fairly calm again.
Captain has the con.
Lubeck, so this is a full up there, 4.3. That is not a ship you see often. And we've got 2 of them. They probably got them from the SL boxes, the lucky bastards.
Ocean, make condition 1.
But that is a scary sight. And there's an enemy Lubeck. Jeez, okay. Oops, all Lubecks today. Well, this match. A Dutchman and a Sparviero as well.
Ready as she goes.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting anywhere near a Lubeck with any kind of aircraft, that's for sure.
Thank you very much.
That was a risky... Well, that arty strike might have gotten me. Wasn't it? Yeah. Going over in this direction. It was the guy that was in our team last match. Leningrad as well, okay. Must be quite a few people getting some premium boats from the SL boxes. And goodbye. I love American boats. It was incredibly satisfying.
Left standard rudder.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
There's another Sparviero. There's again the Dutchman.
Attention, all stop.
He seems to have forgotten about me.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
And there we go. A little bit risky as my gun convergence was kind of messing with me. And boom goes that one.
Target identified. Boat.
Contact! Barrett! 220! 1,000 meters! Enemy hit! Enemy vessel sucked!
Repair party
that one?
220, it's 5,000 meters.
Right standard rudder.
Right standard rudder, aye aye. Enemy hit. Direct hit. Enemy ship on fire. Target destroyed.
That's already a pretty good run on this boat.
Left hard. Rudder.
Full left upper, aye aye.
Let's see if I can force some bridge repairs, but I don't think I can. That's a rough one. Using 3 boats that quickly.
Enemy is exposed. Target identified. Mode.
3,000 meters.
Engine.
Okay.
All stop.
Direct hit.
Attack the enemy!
Oh, hello, aircraft.
Contact turret.
Okay, now my guns really didn't have to reload. That is bad timing. Of course. Turn away. We're good. We're fine. He is not. That was really poor timing on the reload. I really should be keeping a close eye to the ammunition. Okay, that's an arty strike. We need to keep moving. I seem to be out of it.
Left standard rudder.
Barely.
Target identified. Mode.
Contact turret. 200, 2,000 meters. Contact turret. 160, 1,000 meters.
Target identified. Mode.
I was a bit late in seeing that PT-658. I was seeing the ping for him. Yeah, I've noticed that the Lubecks have been going at each other in the kill feed, which is fine by me. I should have saved my ammunition and my guns a bit more. Luckily, I do know how to kill that thing.
Standard rudder.
It has 3-inch ammo right behind the gun, and that will kill it.
Target identified.
Of course, his 3-inch gun can just one-shot me. So we try and disable that first. Thank you very much. Now we shoot for the boxes with the ammunition. Can we do it? He can.
4,000 meters. Target.
And that is why it pays to know the weak spots of enemy boats. And the main reason why I know... Which, okay, AI, I understand, you're right there. And the main reason why I know that that magazine can one-shot the cannon is because I have been one-shot by it many times playing it. I'm very happy to have known that weak spot. Actually knocked him out as well.
Right hard. Rudder.
Target for airstrike.
The enemy has some really dangerous destroyers out and about.
160, 1,000 meters.
Enemy is exposed.
To move because I did see torpedoes out heading my way. It seems one of the Lubecks moved down here, which might be bad for him if he runs into torpedoes, but
Collision alert.
okay, that thing moves.
Critical alert. Status party shield
I
breach.
don't think that. I'm surprised by how quick the Lubeck can move, jeez. Here are the torpedoes. There, I think. Yeah, there they are. Can't quite see them, but I think they've passed me. there's a second Lubeck. Yeah, this was definitely a much better match than the Cyclone.
2-0. 6,000 meters. Critical alert. That is part of seal breach.
Repair parties to station.
No, I forget the reason why I don't have a Lubeck. I need to remember what event it was from. I'm kind of surprised I don't own one.
160. 1,000 meters.
Seeing as I am usually up to date with the naval events, although the early ones I didn't do all that often.
Just keep it up, and victory
I'm gonna look up from what event the Lubeck is, because I genuinely don't remember.
Eddie is slow.
Yeah, I know that the other difference is that Lubeck is an actual premium. And it's really good because of that, because the guns in Lubeck are arguably really bad, but the fact that it's a premium, I think actually a rank 5 as well, makes it really good to have. If you want to grind to German 3 at least.
There. 2-0. 8,000 meters.
Then, all stop.
Also, Nord, could you not do the flybys? I know it's cool and all, but man, you're making me paranoid that I'm about to get struck by something. Which might not be entirely false, I guess.
Turn to emergency repairs.
Repair crews. Critical damage.
And I think we now just really sit here and wait for the match to be over. I think most of the coastal targets have been wiped
Right,
out.
standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye. Critical alert. That is part of seal breach.
Let's keep the pressure on.
Something just splashed me, so that's not. It's a rank 4 premium, but still. It's the entire coastal tree. You can research with it.
All stop.
That's from an event all the way back in 2020, okay. Why did I not get it?
That is part of seal breach.
That's weird.
Engine, flank speed. Mission successful.
Oh well, good match nonetheless.
Information.
There's a Corsair straight into my deck. Oh, I'm just gonna be short of getting the hull upgrade, am I? Yeah. Oh well. One more match for that as well then. So let's keep going. Actually, I'm curious, with Lubeck now being in this crates, has it become any cheaper? Okay, Golden Bay again. So we'll try the exact same thing.
Captain has the time. Engines blank speed.
Start her now. Matsu is 3.7, Vega is 3.7, LCS is 3.7. So we are in a slight up tier.
Ocean, make
Visuals
condition
3.3, Burna 3.3, Ankara 3.0. That's a 4.0. So quite a big up tier.
Left standard
Good sea state
rudder.
though.
Left standard rudder. Aye, aye. Contact bearing 160, 2,000 meters.
So we should be largely fine.
Right standard rudder.
And now mortar strikes, okay, and stuff like that.
All stop.
Just probably not gonna hit anything, but still. Some damage to Kankari.
Target identified.
And a 12 for 12, which is 4-3. Okay.
Full left over.
So we are in a full tier.
Contact bearing 240, 2,000 meters. All signals set.
Let's see if we can sneak onto the sea point. And apparently I sunk to Kankari. Lovely.
Standard rudder.
I'll take this.
Contact bearing 200, 1,000 meters.
Destroying the target.
Right. Guard. Rudder. Heading is closed.
Direct hit.
Engine. All back.
Collision alert.
There goes Burna. Good.
Contact bearing 160, 1,000 meters. Direct hit.
Careful not to overheat the guns. Again.
Target.
There we go. Almost overheated them. There's the Burnout again. I think he's gonna go that way.
Engine.
Although he might get melted by the LCS before my art even hits.
Contact bearing 240,
Yep.
5,000 meters.
Got a hit of the arty strike.
Enemy hit.
Allied forces
There we
have
go.
captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone.
There's an enemy SKR on the field. Oh, that's annoying.
Destroyer.
Contact bearing 220, 6,000 meters.
Destroy the target.
There's the Schütze.
240, 3,000 meters.
So he's not going to come around that corner full speed. This is actually somewhat smart.
Patrol vessel. Contact bearing 220, 4,000 meters.
actually just knocked out, isn't it? Yep. So on to the B point. Where is this? It's all the way over there. Okay.
Right, standard rudder. Target identified. Destroyer.
Okay, this T-22 is going to be a problem. Let's throw some RT there. It hits. And we can fly. Yeah, sure. Those are SKR rockets. That's an issue. However, we can ammo rack an SKR. Not before it'll kill us, but we can try. I don't want to go for front rack, I want to go for rear rack, if possible. Oh no. There was no attempt. An attempt has been made. Kinda want to just try and do it again. This rear magazine is fairly hurt. So we just do it again. Might be able to ammo rack it.
Ocean, make condition 1.
Also drop an RT. If we get a team kill, well, so be it.
Standard rudder. Engine, all back.
I don't have quite enough time on target for it to really work.
Right, standard rudder.
The enemy is controlling most of the zones. We don't have the advantage anymore.
Target identified. Control.
I was not playing that one, am I? Slightest. Yeah, I'm dead as soon as I go around this corner. Instead, we just don't go around this corner. That is the wrong way to turn. Oh well. Speed, bridge is gone. Okay. Yeah, this is already pretty much game over. Because we cannot dislodge that SKR in a timely fashion.
Engine, all stop.
Okay, block, please, thank you. bit of luck it'll actually sink him because of crew loss. But yeah. Let's see if they have something squishier over near the A point. Hopefully he didn't get picked up by the SKR's radar, but he should be sinking. The fronts in our other boat spawn. So the team actually has the destroyers under control, but of course not the ones that managed to slip into the coastal areas. Okay, there goes the SKR, luckily. Try and strike these fronts in our boat spawn. Then we have Clemson over near the sea point.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Come on. It was over, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm at the mercy of his 20 mil right now. Come on. And well, looks like we both went for the same target for no reason. Okay. Let's try PT boat if the game allows me. Hello. Reserve coastal vessel.
Make position one.
Enemy ship on fire. On target. Enemy vessel sunk. Left hard rudder. Aye, aye.
Right, standard rudder.
Right standard rudder. Aye, aye.
That's a destroyer on the sea point.
Destroyer. Ahead. 500 meters.
Ready to
Torpedo ready.
And I again forgot to equip the depth charges on my PTA-10.
Torpedo away.
ready as she goes. Engine,
If it misses, I swear to God. There we go. Bonk into him and his short stop.
engine, all stop.
And look, there's another one right there. Luckily, I have 2 more torpedoes.
Destroyer. 7,000 meters.
Ready to
Torpedo away.
He's going to turn in, which I expect. The first one is going to horribly miss. The second one I don't have to fire until I'm certain is going for it. There we go. It's still going to hit. There we go. Bit close for comfort, but still got it. There's an strike on my position there. And I can't do it to Prinza because I have torpedoes. Let's just try and reload. We're trying to clutch. It's not over yet.
right, hard, rudder.
That's a problem. That's a very big problem. And a problem for closer. And of course, that's what happens. And that's the reason why the AI boats now have the same kill reward as players, because they are just as dangerous. Clearly. Is it another Clemson I'm seeing going for the sea point? Or is it just that's a player vessel, isn't it? Please just go to the B point as fast as possible. Don't slow down. Go to the B point. We do not have the time to lollygag. Move. I'll try and deal with the destroyer going towards the A point. Hopefully without getting shot down by the exact same cruiser. That looks like a Vega, or the tactical equivalent of course. It's starting to look French. And away. That looks good. That's good. And we just escaped. And we're decapturing C. Gorgeous. Oh, well, it would be really nice if we actually won this one as well. There we go. Great. Let me get the victory bonus as well. Don't know what that connection interrupter is about, but oh well. Good chunk of our PNSL. That's what we like to see. Weird. I'll look at that later. And okay. What do I need to get next for PT? I could do new pumps just because it's the longest one and it'll give me a big research boost as well. Question mark, yes, but because War Thunder doesn't have a chat sensor, at least not one that I have enabled, I'm not going to find out what it exactly says. Although, actually give me a moment. I can just enable the chat sensor, can't I? And see what happens. So if we go into options, there we go. Please put that to yes. And let's see what it says, shall we? Just a high. Okay, just high. High, I guess. Let's do one more for good luck, I guess. Let's see what happens. Though I'm doubtful actually trump that pull up their victory. What? Are the servers having a bad time again? I get the feeling the servers are having a bad... The thing is, if my Wi-Fi would be the issue, the stream would also be suffering, believe me. And it doesn't seem to be, from what I can tell. Let's see what happens. There we go. African Gulf on the... Ooh. Interesting. Don't see this map variety often at this BR. Sea state seems to be calm. It is a 3-7 match at least.
Captain has the comm. That's standard rudder.
Okay, 3-7 match is not horrible.
Collision alert.
Probably should have taken PTA 10. But I'm fine with Hawking. I'm slightly scared now. Please don't shoot me to 100 mil because I'll hit my ammo. I am toast.
Identified.
And I don't want to toast it just yet.
Target identified. Rosen, make condition 1.
And my squad mate will just start ripping into them, I guess.
Destroy the target.
Yeah, Falaga is going to be a bit of an issue.
Target identified.
That's an AI, so it's the biggest threat. That's also an AI. Lots of AIs about, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Enemy hit.
Hold right over.
So that's it, too exposed.
Ready as you go.
Enemy
Target
gunfire.
identified.
That guy is not occupied with me.
120. 3,000 meters.
Allied forces have captured the zone.
Left. Hard. Rudder.
Most of the zones are under control.
On target.
Curious that I'm not hitting his ammunition at all. But okay,
Enemy vessel sunk.
that's some
Right.
nonetheless.
Standard rudder.
By overheating both of my guns, but still.
2,000 meters.
Target identified. Rosen.
Contact. Barrel.
Okay, got some quick boats. They tend to blow up pretty easily.
Target identified. Rosen.
I want to get out of the field of view of his SF-40s.
Standard rudder.
Those are SF-40s are scary.
Target identified.
And I again overheated one of my guns. No enemy destroyers though is very nice. Means I can just push up like this. I need to be careful with that reserve Japanese boat I saw. Because it is most likely the thing that captured the B point and we lost one of our destroyers immediately. Okay. Would have been better if we didn't lose it. Where do we see there he is, sneaking about. Falaga is definitely the biggest threat.
Target identified.
Although that's going to be an issue to me, on a personal level. Arty strike seems to be accurate though, so let's just hope that does it. And if not, it seems my squad mate will finish him off.
180. 1,000 meters. Direct hit. Enemy ship on fire.
Target identified.
Where's the PT boat? Where is he?
Control. Repair parties secure and pump out water. Right. Hard.
try and go for the B point. I am flooding to death.
Direct hit! Flying below deck detected! Enemy hit! Losing power ship is
There we go.
Damage control. Repair parts and find and remove water.
direct hit!
Destroying the target.
Damage control. Repair parts. Seal the breach.
Ammunition, the heavies are in between the guns instead of on the gun tubs. Well,
Destroyed!
Repair
let's just
parts.
decap the B point real quick.
Enemy forces have captured that zone.
Direct hit! Enemy hit!
Left standard rudder. Again. All stop.
I can't ammo rack the Falaga, its ammo is too deep.
Right. Standard rudder.
Right standard rudder! Aye aye! On target! Contact there! 220! 2,000 meters! Enemy
And
hit!
we're just continuing on.
Direct hit!
Most of the strategic zones are captured.
Let's try and arty the Falaga. I think he's practically stationary. So we drop the arty right on top of him. Losing that leopard really is quite sad. It would have been really useful. Okay, an Assegal. That's going to be dangerous. The Falaga also wasn't quite stationary as I thought, but I still hit him quite badly. To the point where I might actually be able to finish him off by just gunning his engines.
Target identified.
If he actually was in a position where I could shoot his engines. Instead, the bridge and turret will have to do. There we go.
Enemy destroyed!
Right. Standard rudder.
And they're on the A point now.
All stop.
Of course, they would be.
Right. Hard. Rudder.
Okay, that guy in the French barge is left. He's on death.
Left standard rudder.
Okay.
Turn to emergency repair.
Enemy vessel sunk! We are hit!
It's not fully capped. The A point, that's good.
Engine all back.
On target!
And there's just another Falaga. Which is just outside of my artillery striking range. Assegal is going around a long way. What's RT there? We can detonate the Assegal. I'm going to be aiming for that spot right there, which is above waterline. And just forward of the front dual 40. Escape route is ready as well. My RT strike is way too far forward. The Frunze I don't think is going to help me out.
260! 2,000 meters! Enemy hit!
Engine all stop.
Direct hit!
There we go. And that's why I like the Cyclone. You can just snipe ammo racks with it. It was a bit too submerged for me to really hit his ammo. He's now closing in. I used my RT on the Assegal already, but I think it's actually game over. don't think the Falaga has enough time to get into the sea. Yeah, there we go. That was a great match. But it tends to happen if you're in a practically full down tier, fighting only coastals. And I think I'm going to leave it at that for tonight. It's been 3 hours again. And hopefully that was a bit of an insight in USS Cyclone. Other than that, upcoming, well, next week I'm thinking of doing cruisers, probably. Still have to think which cruisers. I'm thinking of the American heavy cruisers, since it has been a while and I have been saying repeatedly that I want to play them again. So yeah, next week will probably be the treaty American heavy cruisers. Other than that, I really need to get into gear and actually making videos again, but I do have plans. Whether or not I'll be able to execute those plans is something else. But yeah. So that'll be it for tonight. Thank you all for coming to watch, and I will see you back next week.